Divorce is also, however, a key factor here. The precursor of the sexual revolution, before abortion, before contraception, before the modern move to normalize sodomy, the first shots of the sexual revolution were fired over divorce. And it was Russia, again, that led the way. In December of 1917, that is to say a few weeks after the Bolsheviks took power in Russia, they came up with the first laws liberalizing divorce understates it. Basically, they allowed divorce on demand, arbitrary unilateral divorce. Both parties could consent or one party could demand it, and it would be automatic and it would be unrestricted. So I think it's an important point to remember. Before they persecuted religion, before they seized private property, before they tried to subvert other countries, before they engaged in invasions of other nations, before they imposed a totalitarian political system, before they imposed a socialist economic system, Soviet communism attacked the family and marriage, which I think speaks more than anything else to the demonic and Luciferian character of it. And it was this, just as Russia led the way in abortion and contraception, Russia led the way in divorce. Now, I hope you will not think it a quibble based on Hibernian prejudice, but I should point out that in the interest of fairness to Joseph Stalin and Vladimir Lenin, though the modern regime of liberal divorce laws can be traced to Russia in 1917, divorce itself is one of the errors of England. And now, I'm not talking about Henry VIII. I don't think Fat Henry knew what a divorce was. He wanted an annulment from his lawful wife so he could marry his mistress, something not unheard of. And when he could not get an annulment, from the Holy Father, he had his obsequious functionary, the first Protestant Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Cranmer, the married monk and perjured heretic, dutifully provide the annulment. So Henry didn't want a divorce. And by the way, Henry, was actually annulled twice. Most people aren't aware of that. When Henry tired of his mistress, Anne Boleyn, whose personality would cause anybody to tire of her, from what I understand, I won't make any comments about somebody whose personality rhymes with that of witch. But anyways, when Henry decided to remove her as queen, he decided that he would degrade her further by annulling the marriage. And he decided that she used witchcraft and occultic powers to manipulate him and seduce him. So Cranmer, who was an ally of Anne Boleyn, and chaplain to the Boleyns, again being the obsequious creature that he was, dutifully annulled having annulled the king's first marriage, dutifully annulled the king's second marriage. So, but Henry wasn't seeking a divorce. What I refer to in England is England was the first country to legalize divorce. And it happened in the 17th century, and it happened in the reign of Charles II in 1668. And Charles, of course, was somebody who converted to Catholicism on his deathbed, was Catholic-friendly, actually issued an edict of toleration, which was withdrawn after pressure for Catholics. There were circumstances that related to the parties involved, but there was also, Belloc interprets it as that they were concerned about, Charles's great concern was that his brother James succeed him. And there was attempts to exclude James from the succession because of his suspicion of being Catholic, which of course he eventually became. And Belloc believed that one of the reasons that Charles agreed to this divorce legislation because it would deceive his opponents, the opponents of the monarchy, into believing that Charles might seek a divorce and then have a new wife and a Protestant male heir, and then his brother would be excluded. None of this happened, of course. But it's England, Caroline England, Stuart England, that actually is the first country to legalize divorce.